Holy crap. CJ Stroud's the front runner for MVP right now. I don't care what other people say. Like, holy crap. What the hell? And Josh Dobbs looked pretty good. But the Chiefs did not have the best defense in the league. Oh, wait, the Browns. My bad. And that continues to show why he can't win big games, guys. Like, let's go. Play of the day.
It is loose and picked up and lateral. Brian Cook. What a play is right. Trent McDuffie making the tackle, is able to strip that thing out of there. That was unbelievable. Mike Edwards does a great job. You take it and get the ball, and it's your turn to run it down the sideline. What a turn of events right there.
Well, all the way in for a Falcon touchdown. And slides in the tunnel to finish. And then does a snowflake.
This young man is special. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Please, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the Week 9 NFL Sunday recap. Obviously, a lot of crap happened, and there's a lot of stuff to go through. Of course, injuries, though, I'll get to that first. Nothing much happened with the Commanders. They thankfully didn't get too injured. But Drew White, Dax Milne, basically 2 special teamers. We'll see if they can go next week. Could they playing? They're playing in Seattle. Jamel Dean concussion. He's questionable to play in Tennessee at 1 o'clock. A lot of guys in the Seahawks have injuries. The guys returning. Abraham Lucas, of course, they're starting left tackle. Right tackle could be back. Alante Maddox is expected to return week 11 on Monday Night Football. Again, they have the bye coming up for the Eagles, and then Nakobe Dean also with that foot injury. Aaron Robinson, we'll see if he's back. It's hard to imagine because they're playing the Cowboys, but we'll have to wait and see. Keep going up, nothing much for the Saints. Marcus Jones is expected to return week 10 for the Patriots. Who the heck are they playing? Let me think. They're playing in Germany. Christian Gonzalez. Wait, what? I thought he's out for the season. Wait, what the hell? Isn't he out for the season? Likely out for the season. Yeah, I'll get back to you on when I know more about that. I don't want to speculate about that. Jaron Hall also got concussed. We'll see if he can play in week 10. They're home next week though. Keep going up. Jacoby Durant, again, he injured his shoulder. The Rams are on a bye, though. And same with Matt Stafford. He did not play week 11 if you didn't know. So, week 9. So, he could be back then. We'll have to wait and see again with the thumb. Richie James, MCL, expected to return week 11 again Monday Night Football. Jalen Guyton, ACL injury, could be back on Monday night. I doubt that, though. We'll have to wait and see for that, obviously. Nothing much for the Colts. Yeah, the Texans, of course, they got a big game in Cincy. Again, huge game for them. A lot of guys could return again, like Derek Stingley Jr., guy who would definitely help him out. Same with Jimmy Ward, he's questionable. Again, a lot of guys on the Texans are banged up, though, that's for sure. Christian Watson, upper body, he suffered an injury. They're going to Pittsburgh. It's a tough game there. What is it called? Again, the Ravens, what is it called? The Browns going to Baltimore. A couple backups are injured. Nothing much for the Bears either. Brian Burns got concussed, so you got to keep in mind in there. Of course, they're going to Chicago on Thursday night, though. Micah Hyde's questionable. Of course, they're playing Broncos on Monday Night Football. Yeah, some guys in the Ravens, nothing crazy, though. Yeah, like, I mean, came out Seymour injury, but that was nothing there. And then, what is it called? I want to say Matt Collins, the offer, 2 guys. They're both questionable. Again, they both of those dudes are going to be playing. What is it called? They're playing they're on Arizona next week, so that might not be too bad. And as well, of course, Kyler Murray for the yeah, some like D linemen and stuff, but nothing crazy here for the Cardinals. Keep going up though. Injuries for what is called week going into next week. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill. That we'll see if he'll start. I doubt he will though. Let's be honest there. Roger Curry could be back though. Of course, there's slot corner. Nothing much for the Bucs. Again, they don't really have much going on. I mean, some injuries like Samuel Womack might be back for the Niners, but yeah. Anthony Bradford, ankle injury. He's questionable again for Washington. Jalen Hurts, he injured his knee, his left knee, of course, in that game against the Cowboys. See what happens there. Graham Gano is on IR. Obviously, with Daniel Jones tearing his ACL, that sucks. It's really bad, but The Giants should tank. Keep going up, nothing much there. Matt Purr might be back week 12, but I don't think that'll mean much. Ty Summers, concussion. We'll see if he can play week 11. No, week 10. Devontae Parker, Trent Brown, both questionable again for Germany. Vikings have a couple big injuries. Cam Akers tore his Achilles for the second time in 3 seasons. That's really bad. He hasn't really been the same true back since he was before that torn Achilles injury. End of last year he did, but Jesus, that's really bad. I think it's the same Achilles, too. I mean, he came back too early, in my opinion, from that. I mean, like, 5 months is crazy for any player, even. Like, he had the bad end of that. Keep going up, nothing much for the Raiders. I mean, they're playing the Jets on Sunday, and I doubt, like, I guess that game will get flexed. Again, the 3 of the Rams stars in the Super Bowl, again, we're all questionable for week 11. Again, the Rams are on a bye, though. Rob Havenstein can recover from the calf injury. Ernest Jones, knee injury, and obviously Matt Stafford with that thumb. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, same thing. Colts, again, they're going to Germany. We'll see with that, again, with these guys going, a couple starters in the secondary. I mean, a linebacker, 2 stars, obviously all 3 starters there. Texans, I mean, nothing crazy. Again, they are going to Cincinnati, though. Like, Robert Woods, Damien Pierce, but both being healthy would be big. Packers, again, same type of thing. Like, nothing crazy, but, yeah, 2 starters there. Again, what is it called? Jedrick Wills tore his MCL. My guess, yeah, again, that's actually best case scenario for him, to be honest, because that was a really ugly injury against the Cardinals. But see what happens there. Again, we hope he can come back by week 14. Again, I don't know who they're playing week 14. They're playing the Rams in week 13, though. Kyler Blasingame is concussed. He will not play on Thursday night. We'll see what he can do when he comes back in week 11. Justin Fields, see if he comes back from the thumb injury. I mean, Tyson Bagent was pretty bad, so you never really know. Panthers, nothing crazy, guys. I mean, just injuries, and yeah, that's kind of all I gotta say. Like, yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, Keith Smith, the fullback, got concussed, but that's really all I got for you guys. Let's get right into the first highlight. Yeah, from Germany. The first Germany game of the year, yeah, Dolphins and Chiefs. This game was brutal to watch, but it had a kind of crazy ending. Let's get right into it.
Travis Kelce with the touchdown. Mahomes' quick throw. That's Rashee Rice. Touchdown. Holmes with the edges rushing around and finds McKinnon. Jarek McKinnon. Touchdown. Flag is down, but it's in the secondary. Tua out to Hill. And that goes nowhere. Ball's loose. It is loose and picked up and lateral. Cook. Touchdown. Kansas City. Tua for the end zone, and Wilson. Touchdown. No flag. Mahomes steps up. Ball's loose. Ball is loose, and the Dolphins are on it. It's a flip. Mostert with a crease. Touchdown. This must-have drive is a handoff to Mostert. Mostert still on his feet, and he gets it past midfield. 63 ticks to go. Tua fumbles it, and that's the way the game ends.
And the Chiefs headed to Germany, of course, where they were looking to bounce back, and they did indeed, not in really a good or really sustainable fashion, but they were able to knock off the Dolphins. 21-14 was the final score. Yeah, it was not an offensive shootout for sure by any means. I wouldn't even say it was a defensive slugfest either. This game was just really dang ugly. Chiefs of course scored on their first drive of the game, then their offense kind of went to crap. Then they put together another decent drive. Then obviously, the scoop, and then the pitch, and then the score. Whatever you want to call that. That play was just defining the whole game, to be honest. Second half, the Dolphins offense finally woke up. They scored 14 points, really drove in the third quarter. Then their offense kind of went to crap, and then they had that one last drive of the game where Tua missed a touchdown throw. Yeah, he's been really bad against good teams. Chiefs, on their hand, again, they go to 7-2. Again, they got a big bye week before they got the game of the year against the Eagles, who, of course, also have a bye week, so that game's huge, obviously, in 2 weeks. But Dolphins, on their hand, 6-3. They got some work to do. I think they're on their bye too, so yeah, they got some work to do again because they got to figure out how to be good teams, and yeah, they're not scoring 14 points the next time they go out on the field. For Tua, again, like I said, he missed a lot of throws in this game, 21-34, 193, a touchdown overall. Again, he did actually put some balls in some really nice spots, but I think because some of the downfield throws just pro hit the underneath crap too. He was getting the ball pretty quick though. I wasn't like he was getting sacked every time, but yeah, this offense definitely had a frustrating performance. Running game, they only ran the ball like 10 times, which I don't even know why the heck they didn't run it more. It was really weird, but yeah, it was not like a very efficient run game. Tyreek Hill, I'm gonna be completely honest, he just didn't really get open. That's the symbol I'll put it. He had like 2 nice plays, again, quick hitters, but outside of that, I mean, he was not winning against L'Jarius Sneed, who put out of his mind. Craig McDuffie also on Jalen Waddle was also nasty. Like, they could not get much going on there. Outside of the Cedric Wilson junior touchdown, I really don't know what this offense did particularly well, because again, they just kind of boxed a running game at the end of it. Defensively, though, they were on the field way too long sometimes. Their coverage overall could have been honestly worse. Jalen Ramsey overall had a pretty meh game. Either way, Zach Sealer and the rest of the defensive line definitely had their struggles. Cater KO overall was okay, though. Xavier Howard played really well. They did get sacks from their 2 best edge rushers, though, Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, so they did get some good pressure. Javon Holland was a bona fide linebacker in this game. Again, they didn't really get challenged deep really at all, like in terms of actually completing passes. Again, Xavier Howard did a really good job of blanking in there. I'll take it Jalen Ramsey getting beat in those some of those what is called middle between zones plays. I don't even know how to describe that because like some of them, Jalen, if you just bounce back a little, could have had a pick 6. But yeah, not a great performance by him. And I mean, Jake Bailey kicked punted away 7 times. Mahomes again, not really that pretty, 67% completion, 185 touchdowns. They got a good amount of pressure on him. You also didn't really have anyone open. Like, none of these receivers were getting open. Like, let me get that straight. No one really got open. Jerick McKinnon, 2 for 22, and of course that 20-yard touchdown. Rashee Rice is also good, 2 for 17 touchdown. They keep tripling Travis Kelce, and he only had 3 for 14. Yeah, it wasn't good. Isaiah Pacheco at least looked some good, decent on some runs. Yeah, this offense had a really inconsistent day, and they really did have trouble to move the football sometimes. Defensively, though, I liked, again, honestly, you could argue they have the best defense, one of the second or third best defense in the league. I'd say third because, again, they're just not as dominant as either the Browns or the Ravens, but they are the reason they've won a lot of these games because offensively it's not been that great. I'm not going to say like they've been terrible because they didn't throw the football in this game. Their defense did a lot of that. But yeah, Trent McDuffie, very, very good at what is called setting the edge as well as the fact of covering Jalen Waddle in man on an island for most of it. Yes, L'Jarius Sneed did have help, but in man he did a really good job trailing. Tyreek Hill made it really hard on him. Obviously, Drew Tranquil had a pretty decent game. The pressure was overall pretty consistent again with some of the stuff they were scheming up. The only problem I have with them is that Chris Jones really wasn't that much of a factor. And I think in bigger games he needs to become more of that because if he isn't that, well, they're gonna lose. That's how I'll put it. Stats wise, obviously both teams didn't have much yards at all, but the Dolphins did outgain them by a decent amount. Nothing crazy though. They had also the ball longer. Did not feel like that though. Again, 3 to 2 sacks, or kind of a difference too. Just the fact that again the Chiefs were a little more efficient, not by the numbers, but just like again by the way they played. So it's all over for the Chiefs, guys. Let's get right into the keys to game versus both these teams. And what I wanted to see the Dolphins was getting 2+ first downs on the first drive. I think they went 3 and out. It was not good. No way. They might have had a couple. Time progression over the huge plays. Again, if they ran the ball more, I really think they would have had a better offensive game. Game overall. Again, running the ball on first down was something they really didn't do at all, and I think that's part of the reason they really didn't have that much success. And 2, not trying to push the balls over the middle. He actually didn't. When you got pressure, he really tried to push the ball out to the numbers and made sure, again, was trying to spread out the defense. It worked out somewhat, but then again, like, he's got to hit some of those deep balls. Offensively, though, overall for the Dolphins, I'll give them, I don't know, 4 minuses. It's just the execution wasn't that great. But they did, it wasn't like, honestly, one play was really ugly, but neither of these offenses had a good game. I just think in the defense did a really good job scheming up against them. Like, honestly, again, some of the in-game adjustments, it would take a couple weeks to actually learn what to do there. Like, Tua with Cedric Wilson Jr., you're not expecting him to catch that over the shoulder pass there. Again, it was a bad throw, but I'm honestly going to give him 5 minuses. That was the worst performance of the year, but I'm going to be honest, like, this defense, again, some of the stuff you had, like, like in-game adjustments, it takes weeks to learn that stuff. Defensively, though, triple Travis Kelce. They did that. Get off the field on 3rd down, 5 shirts, not really. And Jalen Ramsey without a huge play late. He did not make a big play late. That's probably not even the difference, though, because they actually gave him a good shot to win. I'll give them 3 pluses. Yeah, they had some ugly drives where the Chiefs just ran right down on them, but outside of that, I mean, they kind of kept them in the game. Again, pitching in the second half shutout against the Chiefs is something to be really happy about. But there were some concerns. I mean, but outside of that, I mean, this defense played really, really well. Now let's look at the Chiefs. Now, unlike this Dolphins defense, and we'll get to the Chiefs defense in a second. I'll honestly just gonna start out. So much step up receiver, no one did. They did run the ball a good amount in that first half, though. Patrick Mahomes was holding the ball and did extend, but they did pick a couple stacks. They did. The check down wasn't really a big part of their game either. I mean, they had one nice play with Jerick McKinnon, but that was about it. Offensively, I'll give them a plus. Again, they got shut out in the second half, but they didn't really turn it over as much, and they did look a little better at points. Again, they just weren't very consistent. Defensively, though, Chris Jones didn't really do much. They did stuff the run a pretty decent bit. I mean, nothing crazy though. And then they did Trent McDuffie was on target for a little bit more. Jalen Waddle though. Defensively, I mean, the difference between them and this Dolphins defense is like they forced a couple turnover. They forced that big turnover, and also the fact that I mean, like they had a lot more energy than that Dolphins defense did. And I really think that was one of the biggest differences. Outside the fact that they held them just as much as the Dolphins did. So yeah. For that reason, I'll give them 6 pluses. But honestly, arguably, probably their best defensive performance of the year, 7 pluses. Now let's get the Cardinals and Browns. Jesus, I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to expect, guys. Like, this game was bad.
Here in Cleveland, look who's back. Deshaun Watson. His Browns run has been a series of starts since. And here they go on 4th and 3. Watson, low pass, incomplete. Offense can finally get some points. Watson sidesteps, puts his back into it. Wide open, it's Cooper. Cooper still going. 3rd game since his return as a 30-yard chip shot here from Dustin.
And you end up giving them a big play.
Automatic 1st down. They push him out to the 40-yard line.
My goodness.
Pass, and it's intercepted at the Arizona 49. 2nd and 9, Watson looking, pass deflected, high in the air, and it is caught. Cooper, touchdown. Bang for the Cleveland Browns. Hit from 30 earlier, this one a 45-yard attempt. Good hold by Bojorquez.
So they can have any shot at moving the ball down the field.
Fake handoff, Tune. Football is knocked out. Live football. And Cleveland.
Do you trust the passing game?
Watson delivers, caught, Njoku, touchdown.
This is a masterpiece by this defense.
Tune slinging it, that pass intercepted. Sione. Be a 48-yard attempt. He's hit from 30 and 45. Good snap, good hold, then kick. Watson's going to work from the gun here on 3rd and 6. They protect. Takes a shot. Beautiful pass, it's Cooper! 2nd longest active streak in the NFL. Incredible.
It is not easy to shut a football team out, but
This is Hunt, punches it in, touchdown!
And the Browns shut out the Cardinals for a 27-0 expected win. I mean, there's really nothing another way to put it. Cardinals lose their 6th in a row. They're not the worst team in the league, though, because they're going to get Kyler Murray back, and this offense will be a lot better. I mean, I hope so, but honestly, because that's just, like, what I want to watch. But either way, yeah, the Cardinals will be better next week, I guarantee it. But the Browns, on their hand, they moved to 5-3, and they continue to show they have the best defense in the league. Yes, the Ravens' defense, honestly, you could argue is better, but, I mean, like, guys, the Browns' defense has been more dominant. I mean, have the Ravens shut a team out yet? No. Is this the first week the Browns really did? Yeah, but I still don't really care. They've been really good all year. Clayton Tune threw for 58 yards, and that was, again, we'll get to the numbers later, but, not good. He threw 2 picks. He wasn't even, he was kind of like, I don't say he was average. Like, he had some good parts at Houston, but, like, he was a quarterback who did turn over the football. Really nothing wowed me about him, and, like, yeah, he's not good. He did run the ball a little bit, though. He is mobile, but, like, that's really their whole offense. No one did anything in the receiving game. And their offensive line was god-awful. Defensively, though, they couldn't really stop the run that well. I mean, they were getting absolutely mauled up front. Dennis Gardeck was bad. And their secondary got absolutely torched. Like, Buda Baker, like, you could see it, like, in disbelief by the end of it. They did actually do a good job of tackling, though. Honestly, it wasn't like they got actually, put on skates, per se. But it was not pretty. That's all I'll put it. Greg Dortch did have a couple of nice returns, I guess. That's about it. And Blake Gillikin did to get his punting in. Browns-wise, though, I mean, Deshaun Watson's return was pretty solid. 19 of 30, 219, 2 touchdowns, let it fly a little bit. Yeah, the run game wasn't efficient, but you'd see they did have a couple of nice runs, and they were getting a lot of penetration. Again, these running backs really didn't have the best performance by their means at all either. Market for 5 for 139 touchdown. Again, he had a lot of big plays. Jerome Ford being your second leading receiver isn't the best, but David Njoku was somewhat serviceable, 4 for 26 and a touchdown. Elijah Moore got a couple targets, did a couple things. Now, actually, Cedric Tillman and Jordan Hicks weren't big impact players either. Defensively, though, JOK was okay, but, yeah, that's all I gotta say, because, like, I mean, this defense really wasn't challenged too much. I mean, they got, like, at least 8 sacks. It didn't feel like that, but they did. Similar again to the Ravens we'll get to later, they just had, their whole entire defensive line is just, again, winning with power. It's crazy. I mean, Myles Garrett had a lot of nasty other types of moves, which, again, sets up all the other guys. But you gotta realize, they could bring blitzes because no one was gonna beat them in the secondary. They knew the quarterback and playing tune wasn't gonna do crap. Denzel Ward, of course, had the interception. Cedar Attack had the other one. Yeah, this defense didn't really have to do too much. And again, you don't apologize for your play, but guys, and shutout was a shutout. Dustin Hopkins also missed a field goal too. Team stats though, 58 total yards. I was gonna get to this in a minute, but yeah, if you give up 58 total yards, your defense had a really good game. And also 326 yards for the Browns, pretty solid there. Again, they had the ball a ton longer, 3-0 turnover ratio. This was complete domination from the start. 7 sacks given out by the Cardinals. Yeah, this game was ugly. Yeah, and for the Cardinals, the good news for them, they're playing the Falcons next week. So, I'm not going to call that a tank bowl, though. That's not a tank bowl. Offensively, though, yeah, there's nothing good you can say. No one played well. Nothing went right for them. I'll give them, 9 minuses. The only thing they didn't do is get outscored by the Browns defense. That's the only thing they didn't do. Defensively, though, Marco Wilson with a big pick. No, Denton Skardick was bad. Dante Stills was bad. The only good thing I can say about them is they actually, again, I will say again, the efficiency they give, at least by the Browns, running game wasn't good. For them, obviously, but I'll be honest, they got pushed around a lot, and again, they just got torched in the secondary. Was not a very promising performance. I'll give them 5 minuses. No, 4, because they did hold a couple field goals. But, yeah, defensively definitely wasn't very inspiring either. Now let's look at the Browns. Alright, if they're going to win next week, it's got to be on the back of that running game, and also the fact that, DeJuan Jones probably have to kick over the left tackle, which means, Deshaun, you're going to have to move the ball out a little quicker, but at least offensively for the Browns, they were fine. The running game wasn't that impactful, but it wasn't bad. Joe Antonio was also, he wasn't really good. He was a decent run blocker in this game, though. I'll give them a plus. Honestly, 2 plus. They had big plays, but they're going to need a little more than that next week in Baltimore. This defense, they got a shutout, guys. There's really nothing else you can say. Yeah, they had some points. It could be a little better, but, they got a shutout. You can't, honestly, 9 pluses. Again, it's just because they're playing the Cardinals and they're playing the third-string quarterback. That's really the only reason they're at 9 pluses and not 10 pluses. But yeah, a shutout's a shutout. Now let's look at the Bucs and Texans. Holy crap, CJ Stroud is so good.
It's the NFL on CBS live from Houston, Texas. Today, the Buccaneers take on the Texans. There's the poise, and the throw is on time. The ball gets away. Schultz coughs it up. The Buccaneers have it. Order block, trying to get on the board. And the kick is good. Them for Tampa Bay, costing him 74 yards. The throw on time. The touchdown, Nico Collins. Only 1 touchdown in the first quarter in its first 7 games. They now trail 7-3. Mayfield hooks a pass underneath. Beautiful move by White. White racing into Houston. 2nd and goal. Mayfield caught, extending, touchdown. Buccaneers, Cade Otton, the tight end. Tampa Bay looking to cash in. It's White. Easy walk-in touchdown for the Buccaneers. A 50-yard field goal attempt for Fairbairn. He drills it. Yards away. Leans into it. Does he have enough? He does.
Oh, sorry.
That's horses.
Oh, yeah, horses. My bad.
Stroud makes the connection with Brown. Straddling the sideline. Does he have the angle? 55-yarder McLaughlin. He nails it. Devin White got some of the business at the end of the play. Stroud to the end zone. Touchdown. Tank Dell. Instead, it's Stroud. Throws. End zone. Touchdown. It's Dalton Schultz. To Dallas in the wild card. Of course, they had a different QB. Mayfield. Step. Deep ball. Mayfield looking for Evans. He's got him. Evans with the grab. 2nd and goal. On the give, ripping through. Rashad White, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Through the air. Nice cutback, Singletary. Throws it back for Stroud. Gunbowale, 7-year NFL veteran, normally a running back. The field goal attempt is good. Houston leads. On 4th and 2 for Tampa Bay. Mayfield, pump. Mayfield in the pocket, steps up, now he's going to run. Mayfield's got the first down. Houston up by 3. Shotgun for Mayfield. End zone. Cade Otton, touchdown. Buccaneers go in front. Defensive backs in there for the Buccaneers. Stroud looking. Deep ball. Hold in. Takedown. Now, can they win it? Stroud to the end zone. Touchdown! Tank Dell! Leads a magical drive.
Holy crap, CJ Stroud just put up the best rookie performance I've ever seen and everyone's ever seen. But yeah, let me put it bluntly. CJ Stroud, again, you can talk all you want about the Texans are 4-4 and they're not that good. But CJ Stroud might be in the MVP conversation after this game. That's how I'll put it. No one has ever done this. Not even, like, you can't even compare this to any other rookie quarterback. It's not even close. Because, again, you just can't. It's simple as that. But here's the thing with the Texans. Their defense is bad. It's just the truth. I mean, they're just not very good. But, again, we'll get more into this in a second. But I'll just say this. If you're saying that, again, Jalen Hurts, they're 8-1, man. Yeah, it is true. But, like, if you want to really go Jalen Hurts versus CJ Stroud, like, CJ Stroud, on God, has been a better passer this year. He has. And you can say, oh, he's rushing. Not really. I mean, Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's a lot of rushing touchdowns, but his numbers on the ground really aren't that crazy. I mean, like, they are good, but, like, not that crazy. Like, again. But I'll say this. That's what I got on CJ Stroud again. If they make the playoffs or something like that and his numbers are that ridiculous, you're giving him the damn MVP. I don't care. Like, if they make the playoffs, you're giving him the MVP, guys. Like, if he can continue to play like this with the no interception thing, that he's winning MVP. Like, again, I'm not even kidding. He will. Bucs in your hand, I mean, like, that was just really tough. But anyway, getting into the actual numbers. Baker was really good. 21 of 30, 265, 2 touchdowns. Really good passing the ball downfield. Really good at stepping in the pocket. That's something I really like what I saw from him in this game. Yeah, they lost their third in a row, but this defense by far put their worst game of the season. I'm really encouraged with that offense. The running game, yes, wasn't efficient as it hasn't been all season, but Rachaad White finally had a game where you saw some, like, semblance of, like consistency a little bit. They also had 2 touchdowns on the ground for him as well. So, at least that's starting to get going. Keyshawn Vaughn had a couple really rough runs, but he also had one nice one. So, again, something's going there. Of course, Mike Evans was kind of robbed of a touchdown, but 4 for 87 overall. Pretty big play guy. Kate Donald was a monster, 6 for 70 at 2 touchdowns. Pick him up for fantasy. Trey Palmer and Rachaad White were also pretty good, again, as underneath guys. But Chris Godwin, only 2 catches for 16 yards. They were timely plays, and as well as the fact that again, Baker had a really good game. Offensive line wasn't particularly great, but, again, they did do a really good job against this Texans defense. Meanwhile, for the Bucs defense, that was horrible. I mean, none of the corners showed up. Like none of the safeties showed up. Ryan Neal was so bad in this game. I don't know what it is with him. I think it's just the fact, again, he's just not good in the zone. I don't know what it is. Put him in man or something. Like, he was terrible. They could not find an answer for Noah Brown. He was torching him on every play. But yeah, you want to talk about how the coverage was really bad, because it was. But it was more the fact that the pursuit and the yak yards they gave up was so much. It was really bad. And on that last drive, you simply just got to play out more, guys. Like, you cannot give up those holes in the zone. Honestly, let him get over the top on you, because I'm going to be honest, CJ Stroud didn't throw one bomb over the actual top of the defense. He was just throwing it in these really good, tight windows, airtight. They weren't airtight. They were kind of baggy. But he didn't absolutely launch one over you guys. It didn't happen once in the whole game. It was just, again, terrible pursuit, terrible, what is it called, tackling after the catch. It was just a complete mess. That's all I'll put it. And their pressure was not consistent at all. They had some plays where they getting pressure like right off the bat, and then other times it was not consistent. Texans, though, I mean, again, CJ Stroud was just absolutely unbelievable. 470 yards, 5 touchdowns with no interceptions. The running game, we don't talk about that. But the receiving game, I mean, they had 4 receivers that went for over 50 yards, 3 that went over 110, and also 4 receivers that caught touchdowns. Nico Collins, yes, it wasn't that great, but he was still solid. Again, he is their best receiver, whether you like it or not. And they did actually kind of take him away, but again, he kind of didn't do much after the first drive. But that's okay. Tank Dell, I mean, he's been like just a really, again, inconsistent, but he has shown up when he really needs to. 6 for 114, 2 touchdowns, big play guy. Noah Brown, of course, with a 75-yard touchdown as well as outside of that. I mean, not nothing crazy, but also a really good game. Dolan Schultz, I'm kind of mad I dropped him in fantasy. He had like 30 points, but yeah, he was really, again, this is probably his best career game. Defensively, I'll say this offensive line did a really good job blocking too. Again, overall. Defensively, though, they're just not very good. They do get some pressure. I'll give them that. Like, one-on-one in terms of pressure, they were pretty good. Their run defense isn't that great. I mean, the linebackers are just kind of meh. They don't do a really good job covering over the middle at all. I mean, their safeties just really kind of forgot about that. Jimmy Ward missing was also bad. But they really don't. Again, I like Steven Nelson, guys, but he's the guy who covers number 2 receivers, like in zone and sometimes in man. They don't have a true man corner. And again, getting Derek Stingley Jr. back next week, I think would be huge for them because they are going to Cincinnati. But yeah. their defense is not that great, which does concern me. But I mean, like, guys, C.J. Stroud is like so good. Stats wise, I mean, they had almost 520 yards of offense. Yeah, probably because of C.J. Stroud, but still. Yeah, Bucs now as many yards. They definitely kept up with them. And as well, I forgot Dare Ogunbowale, whatever you want to call him. He also Ogunbowale, whatever the heck his name is. He hit a field goal, guys. That's crazy. First time since 2004. I think it was Wes Welker, or 2001. One of those 2 years that non-kicker hit a field goal. Yeah, the Bucs had the ball longer, and they actually were probably more clean overall. The only issue I got, Texans were very explosive, and the receivers had their best finally early game. And I really like what the stuff that their OC was putting up. Yeah, 39 points they erupted after again losing to the Panthers last week. All right, Bucs offensively, yeah, Baker was good with, again, throwing through the air. Mike Evans didn't get as many targets as you like, but he had a pretty good game. Rashad White, 60+ rushing yards, he got that. They did score 20+. Offensively, you can't really complain with anything they did. They had a really good game overall. I'll actually give them 4+. The only issue again I have is they didn't finish every drive. Kind of did hold them back at some points. No, honestly, 5+. They scored 37 points, guys. Defensively, they didn't really do anything well. That's kind of how I'll put it. I mean, the run defense was okay, but they have a much better defense line, guys, up front at least. And obviously, the linebackers did a really bad job covering over the middle. And again, the safeties have just been terrible in the coverage this year. I mean, Antonio Jr., I don't even know what to say about that. The only good thing I can say, again, they kind of kept it in front of them until they got absolutely burned over there. So, I mean, that last drive was kind of inexcusable, too. 7 minuses. There's nothing good you can say. All right, Texans, obviously a huge win for you guys. There's many inconsistencies with your football team, but, like, then again, you guys are sitting at 4-4, and no one expected that. C.J. Stroud took a lot of chances. Obviously, the running game was and they did have a lot of yards in the second half. C.J. Stroud was unbelievable. Like, off of him, he's an A+, but the rest of the team, I'll be honest, I'll give them A+. Like, yeah. Defensively, Steven Nelson was decent, not great, though. Will Anderson was not that crazy. Was okay, though. Malik Collins did not get any pressure, and, yeah, Christian Harris was not batting coverage, not great, though. Defensively, again, they're just not very good, so, like, kind of, like, just off of that. I'm going to give them 4 minuses, though. They kind of lost them the game until, obviously, the Texans' offense and C.J. Stroud just said, screw it, and they won them the game. So, yeah. We'll talk more about this on Wednesday, but, yeah, that's all I got there, guys. Now let's get to the Bears and the Saints, and, yeah, this game was ugly, too. Again, one really good game, another bad game. That's what we've gone through. 2 bad games, that's what we've gone through so far.
Ready to roll from the Big Easy. It's the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints. Zone where they are tied for 4th this year in touchdown percentage. Bajan looking deep for Cole Kmet. Oh, what a catch! Kmet goes up to get it, and it's a touchdown. Bajan plenty of time. Now fires, and it's picked off. Adebo on the interception. Paulson Adebo. Carr standing in there and out of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Chris Olave, his second, got some room, and Mooney with a nice cutback to keep up the first down, and still going. Darnell Mooney, not for Chicago. Agent pulls it back. Now looking end zone for Kmet, number 2 for the Bears tight end. Full. Carr throwing, caught, touchdown, Taysom Hill. Santos off the upright, no good. 2nd and 4. Bajan, wide open over the middle is DJ Moore. Football comes out, and the Saints have it. Attempting a 55-yard field goal, it would be a season long, and this one is good.
Force hand, so that was incomplete.
And this time, Santos is good from 31 in the backfield with Taysom Hill and Jamal Williams. While Saunders ran around, Hill finds a wide open Johnson for a touchdown. Agent over the middle, intercepted. What a play by Marcus May. Agent steps up over the middle, intercepted again. And that's Adebo again. Out of the hold of Lou Hedley. Ruby kick on the way, and it is no good! Off the upright! Tyson in trouble, and the ball comes out! Bajan fumbles, it's still loose!
And the Saints hold on to avoid the upset against the Bears with a 24-17 win. Bears lose their 3rd straight. No, not their 3rd straight. What am I saying? Saints on the other hand again win their. Actually, no, that they won back-to-back games after, of course, losing 4 out of their first 5 after getting that 2-0 start. So, yeah, it was a wild game to say the least, but the Saints, again, figure out a way to win ugly. Bears, you got a tank bowl game on Thursday night, but, yeah, no one cares. Saints on the other hand, you got a big game against the Steelers. No, against the Vikings. That's a big one. Either way, though, Tyson Bagent was bad. I'll say this, though. Downfield, he was actually really accurate, again, overall. Like, I'm saying accuracy-wise. Not by the timing, not by the decisions, but his bona fide accuracy was actually decent. But he missed a lot of reads, and he had some really bad decisions in some of these throws. Like, one of them was just, oh my god, like 10 seconds late. It was really bad. But did throw 2 touchdowns. The running game was ugly, but it was kind of evened out at the end. Dante Foreman had a couple nice runs, but they didn't really create many holes at all. Darnell Mooney was pretty good, 5 for 82. Obviously, a lot of yak plays. Cole Kmet continues to be a big red zone threat, 2 touchdowns in this one. DJ Moore was okay, 3 for 44, but yeah. It was definitely a trying effort offensively. Defensively, though, they didn't give many big plays really at all. They didn't actually give up too much, to be honest. But the only issue I have with them is, again, they just gave up some bad plays at the wrong time. They also were bad on 3rd down. Eddie Jackson and Elijah Hicks were both pretty good in coverage. Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson continue to be decent in coverage. C.J. Edwards was a tackling machine, and Jack Sanborn continues to be decent. But, yeah, they definitely had some stuff to work out. They didn't really get much pressure at all, and that did put some stress in the corners, but they did do a decent job. And Carol Sanders missing a field goal was crucial as well. Again, Derek Carr wasn't anything special. 25, 34, 211, 2 touchdowns. Had all the time in the world, some dots, but I'm honest, he was okay. The running game, they didn't really run it a lot, and I'm honestly not surprised. They didn't really get much out of that either. Neither team really did. Chris Olave was serviceable, 646 on a touchdown. Adam Kamara, again, continues to be good, 444. Obviously, Kendra Miller had a 31-yard catch and run. And Juwan Johnson, a touchdown, as well as Taysom Hill. He actually had 2 total touchdowns in this game, too. I forgot to mention that. He threw one and he caught one, which, if he ran for one, that would have been really cool. And if he had like a special teams touchdown, that would have been crazy. Defensively, though, DeMar Davis had 8 tackles and a sack. He was really good. Paul Sanadeo, 5 tackles, 2 interceptions. He had the 2 picks, but I think he could have been a little better in coverage. Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May were both really good in the back end. Bounce back game for them. And Alontae Taylor was menacing at corner, as well as Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, defensively, business as usual, I guess. Blake Ruby also missed a field goal. Stats, though, I mean, he also had a 50-something yard or 2. Again, the Bears did outgain him by a pretty decent amount, but, like, then again, I mean, like, the Saints were just they didn't turn over the ball 5 times. 5! And, yeah, that was kind of the difference. But, yeah, the Saints offense is going to have to be more explosive next week. All right, Bears offensively, they did not have 200 rushing yards, but they did have a good amount of yards. They turned over the ball way too much. DJ Moore was not getting not even close to that much yards, but, again, not too many targets either. Bears, I don't really know what to give you because, I mean, you turned over the ball 5 times, and then again, you moved the ball a pretty decent bit. So, I'll be honest, I'll give you 4 minuses, but it could have been worse, I guess. Defensively, Jalen Johnson was really good, but I don't think he could have been even better. Montez Sweat did not do much at all, though. They didn't get much pressure at all on Derek Carr. It was just, again, their secondary did a good job. They were, again, really focusing on coverage, so the fact they didn't get much pressure wasn't really a surprise, but I do think this Bears defense could have been better. I'll give them 2 minuses, but I don't think they played bad at all. Now let's look at the Saints. All right, Saints offensively, Alvin Kamara, 20-plus touches. He had he only had like 15, which actually was kind of good in this game, 13, I think. Michael Thomas, under 10 targets, definitely. Rashid Shaheed didn't have any big plays. The O-line was really good, though, again, overall. But honestly, offensively, they didn't really do too much. I'll give them 3 pluses, though, again. Solid effort. Defensively, after the quarterback on first, not really. Actually, it was more 3rd down, which is actually good for them. Marshawn Lattimore was on DJ most of the game. They did run on, again, they actually on the field more than that, but yeah, whatever. And they were, again, they did give a good amount of yardage, but honestly, again, when you force 5 turnovers and you just basically make the other offense implode, kind of got to expect that. That's all I got for the Saints defense. I don't know what to give them. Who the heck? I don't really care. 4 pluses. They honestly should have way more than that, but they did force 5 turnovers. No. It's not happening every week. Now let's get the Commanders and Patriots. I don't even want to recap this game, but here are the highlights.
Welcome to Foxborough on a beautiful 61-degree November afternoon as Mac Jones and the Patriots get set to host Sam Howell.
From the left hash, Cressway places it down. Slide from 30.
Zone top 10 in opponent's red zone TD percentage.
2nd down and 7. Robinson to the end zone, touchdown.
Bill's done it all. He's seen it all, right, Kenny?
2nd down and 8.
Fumble.
Lost the football. Nothing so far today. Jones to the end zone. Hunter Henry, touchdown.
From the 35, Stevenson, first down and more. Ramondre Stevenson still going. Chased by Curl. Stevenson.
3 following the sack. Howell across midfield. Howell stays on his feet. And they have all 3 of their timeouts. Howell rolling right. Looking. Down throws. It's intercepted in the end zone by Cup. Here's Ryland. 43-yard attempt from the left hash. In the plays. Second down and 10. Here's Howell going deep. Oh, the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Dodson.
That was a nice route by McLaurin.
Howell on first down, complete. Another first down and more. McLaurin. Trustway places it down. Joey Sly.
That's what they've been doing.
Second down and 8. Jones over the middle. Broken up and picked off.
And the Commanders do win ugly against the Patriots. I don't even know if it's ugly. They won 20-17. They went into Foxborough and won. Patriots fall 2-7, and their season is probably DONE by now. Commanders, you thought they were taking, not really. They played a pretty decent game. Sam Howell was really good overall by everything said. Obviously, the interception wasn't crazy great, but I mean, Sam Howell was basically throwing dimes the whole game, like downfield, left, right, everywhere. Quick reads, getting the ball out of his hands. It was really. I wouldn't say it was a clinic, but it was a good game. Brian Robinson Jr. definitely struggled to get out of the backfield on a lot of carries, but Antonio Gibson did kind of make up for it with some nice runs. Terry McLaurin, 5-73. Obviously, John had some of that 4-for-69 in that touchdown. I wasn't going to say it was a pretty touchdown, but he did catch it. Byron Pringles breaking ankles, 3-for-55. Diamond Brown also had some big plays, too. Again, this offense had a lot of nice, big conversions. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys catch passes in this one. Even though John Bates was for, negative whatever that many yards is. Defensively, I don't really know where to start. They actually weren't that great, to be honest. I mean, coverage-wise, they were okay. The front was getting a little bit of pressure. I think it was 26%. It was decent. But, yeah, Jartavius Martin forced the game-stealing pick. Again, yeah, out to those big plays they gave up. And, again, they were actually decent in coverage. Honestly, there's really nothing bad to say about them. Joey Slade did hit 2 field goals, though. Mac Jones, it was not pretty. 24-44, 220 touchdown pick at the end of the game. He wasn't really surgical underneath, but once he got to the second levels and third levels, it was not pretty again, like I just said. Running game again. Ron Stevenson outside that 60. What was it? I don't even know where it was. 64-yard touchdown. He didn't do anything. I mean, the running game was non-existent outside of that touchdown. Receiving wise, actually pretty solid game from Juju. He was getting underneath a lot, getting open there. DeMario Douglas was somewhat explosive, 5-55. Hunter Henry also coached that touchdown, but I mean, they were okay as receiving group. Honestly, probably one of the better weeks of the season. But I mean, guys like Tyquan Thorne and Jalen Reagor, again, they got to be a little better than that, even though again they kind of do both suck. Defensively, Juwan Bell is really the only guy out there where I'm like, yeah, that guy's making play after play. I'll say this, DJ Wise Jr. finally woke up this year, and he really hasn't done too much, but this was the first team he did. All the cornerbacks did a decent job, in my opinion. Yeah, they gave up some plays, but I mean, they couldn't give up, some of those plays. I'm like, you're playing inside leverage, guys. What do you expect? Kyle Duggar was okay, 4 tackles and an interception. Miles Bryant, again, he was probably the only corner I didn't like too much, but he was a good tackler, so again, that kind of does make up for it. None of the linebackers outside, again, probably, I don't even say John Bentley covered that well. They did both safeties did a bad job kind of selling their zones, and then obviously the biggest thing, I mean, they just didn't get enough pressure overall. Team stats, though, obviously, 3-0 sacks, kind of a difference, but again, the Commanders had the ball a lot longer, whether you like it or not, and they had a lot more yardage, too. It was kind of a failure overall by that Patriots defense as well. The fact that their offense couldn't really figure it out at the end, but they did have a good shot at winning this game. I mean, if the Patriots, if the Commanders were just, again, weren't this good on their down, I would say they have a better shot at winning, but let's be honest, guys. The Patriots are not a good team. Alright, Commanders offensively, Sam Howell again did it 300 yards. They did run a lot of nice sweeps there, but again, that didn't really amount to much. And they did take field goals in the red zone, I think 2 or 3 times. Offensively, there's really nothing to complain about. I mean, there are some stuff they could have done better, 20 points, again, what that offense was able to put up, 434 total yards. They had the ball a lot longer than, again, I actually expected them to. Again, I watched the game, but, holy crap, they had the ball a lot. Again, you didn't really feel like that, again, like some other games, but it was a little draining. I'll give them 3 pluses. Again, good job, guys. You only scored 20 points, but it was a good day. Sit on the underneath crap. Not really. They actually did a bad job there. They weren't getting too much pressure. Yeah, they had 3 sacks, but, I mean, they didn't get any sacks either. Ron Stevenson, of course, with that touchdown run, but, I mean, outside of that big play they gave to him, I mean, only, like, 10 points. It wasn't, again, the best performance, but they did get it done. I'll give them 3 pluses. Commanders played a decent game. Definitely not their best performance for sure, though. Now let's look at the, what's called Patriots. And for New England, Nibus first downs in the second half. No. Mac pushing the ball down for 10-plus air yards. Sometimes, not really consistently, though. Juju did get a good amount of targets, and the O-line was good on their ground. Overall, though, I mean, again, up to Zeke Elliott, he wasn't breaking any tackles. Offensively, I'm going to be honest, I'll give them actually, just a straight-up minus. Again, they got to come out a couple of field goals at the end of the game. But outside of that, I mean, I honestly can't really complain too much from this defense. Offensive, my bad. Defensively, they couldn't really cover the middle. None of the linebackers covered well. The safeties, again, did not do a good job disguising those coverages. The corners did do a good job covering-wise, and again, they did make some nice tackles, but again, when it came down to it, they just could not get off the field on third down, and it just simply didn't get much pressure. Yeah, they had 3 sacks, but those sacks were really, again, more like coverage sacks. So, for that reason, I'll have to give them 4 minuses. But, yeah, again, they just can't be on the field on third down. Like, that's really the difference, guys. Now to the Patriots, Vikings. Vikings and Falcons. This game was a lot more wild than it really had to be, but I was there for it, so that was kind of cool. Now it's again, Vikings, Falcons.
Sure is Taylor Heineke gets the start as a Falcon today, while Minnesota leans on 25-year-old rookie Jaron Hall.
Been clutch for the Atlanta Falcons this season, as his career has shown, and this kick is up, and it is going to go through. Ohio State, Harrison, Hall, floating one wide open down the sideline, and the catch is made. Madison inside the 15 of Atlanta. Lately, but this he handles in goal. Jaron Hall is going to run and be kicked out of the end zone. Well, they only send a few, and he's going to be brought down to the end zone. Calais Campbell is going to get a Falcon safety. Koo. On first down, Dobbs is gliding around and tries to get rid of it. That looks like a fumble, and it's ruled a fumble on the field. Lorenzo Carter. Koo, who's hit from 52 and 43. And he works that through. And Dobbs gets out of it. Will keep, and he's going to keep running. Leaping out of bounds. Dobbs has it. He's throwing. And held on to Madison for the touchdown. Dobbs hesitates, and it's intercepted. He threw it right into the hands of Kentavious. Trying to go 4 for 4 today. The kick is up there. It's out there. And through.
They've had a bunch of them.
A quick throw. Trying to beat the blitz. Smith. Loose. Jono Smith. He's taking it all the way in for a Falcon. He's no angel in the outfield, I'll tell you that. Robinson is loose. And ball's out. Scramble for it. Looks like Atlanta. Trying to throw quick. Dobbs is going to try and outrun the defender, and he gets another first down. Dobbs has a touchdown for the Vikings. To Madison. Dobbs. He can't run this for 2. The throw is caught. What a catch by Preston Jackson. The touchdowns. Heineke comes out throwing. That's intercepted. Byron Murphy Jr. And Joseph delivered from 31 yards away, and yes, Greg Jones. The football for the 5. Tyler Algier is powering in for a Falcon touchdown. What a way to cap a drive. Dobbs on 4th down. The pressure's coming. He gets away for the moment, but look out from behind. He's going to get the first down. He's going to get more than that. 3rd and 4. Time. Catch. Brandon Powell. He's going to go for it. A Hail Mary. It's not going to make it quite. Top away.
And the Vikings, in dramatic fashion, win their 4th straight game to get over 500 for the first time in the 2023 NFL season over the Falcons, of course, who lose, their 2nd straight game. They have not been a good team since week 2, in my opinion. They've just been wildly inconsistent. But their defense sucks for the second back-to-back games, and they fall to, again, 4 and 5. 28 points they did score, though. Vikings, let me put it this way. Jaron Hall looked like freakishly good on the first drive. He was like downfield all over the place. I mean, okay, he is 25, but like Jaron Hall looked good. Then of course he had to get concussed. Josh Dobbs, when he came in though, after that safety and a couple of really messy throws, he settled in and had over 214, I think, total yards of offense. No, 224 yards total offense. 3 total touchdowns and was kind of a heroic type of guy though. But don't get him confused. He did get bailed out a couple times by these receivers. Alex Madison on the ground though wasn't that crazy. Of course, sadly, Cam Akers did tear his Achilles for the second time in the last 3 years. Receiving yards wise, T.J. Hawkinson is probably the most reliable guy, 7 for 69. Jordan Addison made a couple big plays. I like the way he went out 5 for 2. Of course, Alex Madison 2 for 49 in that touchdown. Brandon Powell was also good at that touchdown as well. Can go ahead there. KJ Osborne continues to show he's not really that great of a receiver, but I mean Tristan Jackson got a catch. Tristan Jackson, whatever. Bleh. I think they might be getting Justin Jefferson back next week too, which would be very timely. Of course, playing the Saints. Defensively, they actually didn't even do that bad, to be honest. I mean, they didn't get much pressure, again, like percentage and like consistency-wise, but off sheer volume, they were decent. Again, the secondary continues to show they're not that talented, and they do give up a lot of big plays at some points in the games, but they do enough to the point where they don't get exposed. And obviously, the linebackers really were just dead on the last drive. Not the defensive line; they were still getting penetration again, but like the second level, you could just see like everyone was just getting mauled by the end of that drive. Ivan Pace Jr. was done with it. And Greg Joseph did force his 3 field goals. Falcons-wise, again, their running game did look, again, really good in that last drive. Bijan Robinson getting 11 carries is just, why don't they get the ball to the guys that actually are good? Like, what the hell? I mean, I like Tyler Algier and all guys, but he's just not as good as Bijan. It's just the truth. Give him more carries. Holy crap. Taylor Heineke overall was kind of frustrating. He missed a lot of throws, like, again, overall. But he did hit a couple big ones, and obviously he had that touchdown. The pick wasn't that great either, kind of crucial, but did it over nearly 270 yards. Receiving wise, Jonathan Smith outside of the 60-yard touchdown, I really don't understand. Again, that is why he's getting targets. But yeah, he was honestly pretty decent. Again, without what is called Drake London, they really don't have a guy who can consistently go up and get it. I mean, Matt Collins had a couple nice plays, but that was about it. Kyle Pitts, again, that's a decent game, not for him, but like for a tight end overall. So you can't complain too much, but bro, gotta give him more targets than that. Again, Bijan 13 total touches. Give him more touches. Holy crap. Defensively though, they got some pressure. I don't think this was all on the actual guys getting after the quarterback, though. I mean, they did beat, what is it called? Not Brian O'Neill. Christian Darrisaw and Andrew Ingram pretty consistently at some points in the game. Yeah, Christian Darrisaw had a down week for sure in this game, but also Josh Dobbs did kind of, like, roll out of the pocket a lot and, like, just kind of, like, expose some of those plays. But, yeah, whatever. The secondary was not good. They gave a lot, again, honestly, like, 3 touchdowns on the table there, but, like, I'm gonna be honest, their tackling was atrocious, too. They got some work to do going into next week. Young McCoo did it 4 field goals. Thank God they're playing the Falcons. Cardinals this week again. If they don't, honestly, we'll see what Kyler Murray can do on his knee. But if they don't tackle, if they continue to tackle like this, Kyler Murray will torture them. They did have a good amount of yards though. Both these teams did overall. Again, 2-to-2 turnover ratio overall. But again, with the Vikings having the ball a little longer, and again, just coming up in the end of the game was really the big difference here. Again, Falcons defense really struggled the past 2 games. And for the Vikings, take shots off play action to Jordan Addison. They did it, I think, once. T. Jackson got his targets. The O-line was not creating too many stuff there, and obviously Cam Akers tearing his Achilles was unfortunate. Offensively, they just figured out a way to get it done. Obviously, 3 total touchdowns from Josh Dobbs. Again, it was kind of a crazy performance. I'll give them 4 pluses, though. Again, I like what I saw. Defensively, though, Cam Bynum was not that great, but he wasn't. I'd say he was okay. Taylor Heineke was, again, getting to his third read a lot. They weren't getting too much pressure overall. Again, by volume, they were okay, but, again, consistently, not really. So, for that reason, I'll have to give them, I don't know, 2 minuses. They did make some big plays at some points in the game, though. But, like, you're not going to beat, like, the Saints next week if you play like that. Like, too many big plays. Time for the Falcons. All right, Falcons-wise, they did run the ball a good amount, but not that much. They did have one run, I think, of 20 yards. Maybe not even that. Taylor Heineke didn't really take too many deep shots. They did have the ball for a decent amount. But then again, like, what it really came down to is, like, they didn't get the ball to their best players at the best time. And for that reason, they ended up losing the game. But, obviously, they had a pretty decent day. I'll honestly give them a plus. Like, honestly, 2 pluses. Like, you can't really complain. 20 points, 20 points. Meanwhile, their defense, they just, again, it's just the juice. Like, the secondary is not playing with the same aggression you saw, like, before 2 weeks ago. And obviously, the biggest thing, they're getting way too many big plays, guys. Like, tackling is just not there. 6 minuses, that's all I got for the Falcons, again, with that quarterback, again, with Josh Dobbs pulling a Baker Mayfield there. Now, let's get to probably the worst game of the week, Rams and Packers. I don't even want to talk about this one. But the good news is, we have an excuse.
Big day for Brett Rippon as he leads the Rams across 2 time zones to Lambeau Field to get set for the Green Bay Packers. A couple of very young teams.
That's going to be a big battle here this afternoon. Can this defense get off the field?
What the hell? Fumble on the snap. It's picked up by Rippon. He had it knocked away, and it's scooped up.
Make it 6. It's Jones. Touchdown, Green Bay. Pressure for the Packers. A flag is thrown. Rippon downfield, and on the first target of the day to Cooper Kupp. He connects, but will it stand? Debut last week. He drills it, and it is good. Good sound, but no good. Jordan Love looking for the rhythm, and a rhythm throw. Oh, man, Wicks had it and then lost the football. Toss play for Jones. Puts it back inside, and a good run, but he lost the football, and the Rams have it. Scooped up by Duke Shelley. And there's the first miss of his NFL career. Third down stop to force a 26-yard chip shot for Carlson.
Come on the field and put some stops down.
Rippon.
And it's tipped by Alexander into the hands of the rookie Johnson.
And Carlson is able to sneak it through. They'll bring an extra man. Love's protected. Love's got Watson deep down the field. What a grab by Christian Watson. Love. Oh, 2 fakes, and he finds Musgrave for what might be the knockout punch.
This week, there's so much carryover, so much similarity that there was a lot of good on good as they got ready this week.
Ball deflected, knocked down. It'll be Packer football.
Okay, whatever. The Packers snapped their 4-game losing streak with an ugly and very non-deserving 23 win over the Rams. I mean, they did deserve to win in hindsight. Whatever. Rams fought a 3-6, lose their third straight going into the bye. I mean, we needed the bye more than anything, obviously. With be honest, I'm gonna say there's an excuse. Brett Rippon is the excuse, but yeah, the Rams could have won this game with Brett Rippon. I'm gonna be honest, but he was awful. There's no way around it. The voice crack tells you all you need to know there. The running game, it's kind of hard when they're actually having like 7, 8, 9 guys in the box on 80% of the snaps. Yes, something like that. I'll go along with the offensive line too. Alric Jackson's not very good. I mean, again, he was going against Rashawn Gary, who's honestly been one of the best finesse rushers in the league. So that's part of it. And also, second, when you can't really throw the football, that's kind of part of it too. Preston Smith against Joe Noteboom. I mean, it's a backup against the starter guys. Like, I don't really know what you would expect there. But if they had Dry Havens in this game, would have gone a little different. Receiving wise, Cooper Kupp was getting open almost every play. But the place he wasn't getting open, Brett Rippon was still throwing the football. It was really bad. He got wide open like 2 times for like at least a 15-yard gain. Brett Rippon just didn't pull the trigger there. And his little Tyler Higbee on that pick he threw, Brett Rippon that is, that would have been, again, first down. It's inexcusable there. Puka, I mean, 3 catches, yeah, but like, let's be honest, guys. The Rams haven't had a consistent game since again, it's frustrating to watch. That's how I'll put it. Because they really just need to get Matt Stafford in the whole game, no blowout crap, none of that. But with all that said about this offense, with Brett Rippon at quarterback, this defense looked awesome. That's how I'll put it. Yeah, the coverage wasn't that great, but without Ernest Jones, they were all out of sorts, to be honest. The corners were decent, but here's really what I gotta say. The defensive line looked awake. Byron Young was fantastic. 8 tackles, 2 sacks, first Matt multi-game sack of the year, game of the year. He is legit. Kobe Turner looked really good too. 7 tackles and a sack. Really good against the run. Aaron Donald was also very effective at 2 tackles to 2 tackles for loss, and also a sack. He was really good again. The whole defensive line played well. Secondary, so the corners were good, but they could have been a little more effective. Obviously, the linebackers were not good. Christian Roseman is again, he's kind of a run defender, but you had Trey Reader do a lot of crap and coverage. I mean, just look back to that game against Seattle in that wild card round where he gave up that bomb to DK, which obviously shouldn't be bet on him, but not great. The safeties were not really that good. Lucas Havrick obviously missed the 1 field goal, but I mean, Anders Carlson also missed one, so there's not much to say there. Jordan Love, yeah, he was pretty decent, but I mean, the Packers' offense, all they said wasn't really that good. They had a couple of nice runs, but that was about it in terms of that offensive line. But yeah, Jordan Love, he was consistent overall, like with those big throws. But let's be honest, when you got a lead like that and you're going up against a freaking quarterback that should not be on the field, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, Jordan Love, I'll give him props. He was clean, even though he did fumble like 4 times. Receiving wise, Luke Musgrave, obviously that touchdown, he was pretty explosive. The David Wicks was pretty solid. Obviously Christian Watson getting that ball for 37 yards. No one really did anything else. Defensively, though, Jair Alexander by far his best game of the season. Again, he's one of the most inconsistent corners in the league, in my opinion, in terms of like how the highest of highs he has. I won't say the lowest of lows, but the lower end of how he plays. Jair, there's games where he just doesn't do anything, or he gives up a touchdown. Then there's another game where you're just like, you can't like do anything because he's just in the way of everything. Jair is a really good man corner. He's just a little too inconsistent, obviously. Keyshawn Nixon's not really a cornerback. Great returner, though. He had a couple nice returns there. What are they called? Isaiah McDuffie, 6 tackles. He was okay. Jonathan Owens had a sack. Of course, Anthony Johnson Jr. with a pick. They were just stacking the box, guys. It wasn't really that hard for them. Team stats, though. Packers had 391 total yards. You can talk all you want about that. But, like, again, after the Rams, like, they had the ball for so much longer. Like, that's so good. I like how this defense played, though. 2-2 turnover ratio, though. Again, the Rams should have been up by, like, honestly, if Matt Stafford, I'm not going to say they would have blown them out, but they definitely could have won this game if they had Stafford for sure. Again, that's kind of how it was like at this point. Game. Up front, the Rams defense dominated there, obviously. But, again, when you get turnovers, guys. You got no points off of those. Like, come on. Yeah, right in the keys of game grades. Rams offensively, they did run the ball a ton, just didn't work out well. Obviously, Cooper Kupp, he was getting open. It was just no wasn't throwing the ball. They did not. Yeah, Matt's thumb, thank God, is intact. But offensively, it was Brett Rippon, 7 minuses, flat out 3 points. Honestly, 8 minuses. Like, there's nothing good you can say. Defensively, though, they were honestly. I like what I saw. Again, the coverage wasn't overall consistent at all. But they did force a couple turnovers. They were really good up front. They made it hard on Jordan Love again outside of that fourth quarter. Again, honestly, defensively, I'll give them a plus. I like what I saw. Now let's look at the Packers. So Packers offense, Aaron Jones, 25 plus touches, not even close to that. Jordan Love hitting the quick. No, honestly, probably yeah. That. Jordan Love was actually good underneath. Then he hit some balls over the top, obviously. Offensively, they weren't actually even that good. They haven't really been good all year. But again, they did score 20 points. They did have almost 400 yards total offense. They were okay. Defensively, honestly, no, I'll give them a plus. Defensively, though, they were good. They could have been, honestly, better, though. They were getting some blitzes, but again, I just like, again, they didn't really have to do too much. I'll give them a plus, too. The Packers did not play that good of a game, but, like, again, they did still win 20-3. So, a win's a win. You don't apologize who you played for. Now let's get to the probably even worst game. Seahawks and Ravens, guys. Holy crap, the Ravens are so good.
Well, the radar shows nothing but clear skies, but we've got 2 teams flying a little under the radar nationally.
Goal. Up the middle and right in the end zone. Once again, it's Gus Edwards. McKay used to span the globe to bring you the constant variety of a sport. As Smith goes down the field and it's intercepted. No. Football Hall of Fame. As that ball is stripped out of the hands of Lamar, Mafe was there to strip it. Edwards territory. There he is, Edwards, driving, in for the touchdown.
You called it, you were dead right.
There's play action. Gino steps up, unloads, finds Metcalf in the open. Metcalf racing down the sideline. 3 yards. There's the kick on the way, and it is good.
Field goal range first, though.
Smith, ball knocked out of his hands. Strip sack. It's Van Noy. There's the kick by Tucker, and it is good. 3 points out of that. As Edwards makes a nice cut. Good wiggle. And still on his feet. With a stiff arm, it's still going. 45 yards. This is 31 yards. Tucker, his 3rd of the day. Father, keep an eye on it. As Mitchell breaks it, there's that speed. Mitchell to the end zone and a touchdown. Tony Romo, Tracy Wilson. There's a deep ball, one-on-one coverage. What a nice catch. What a beautiful catch it is. Forced. Throws. Incomplete. Stone got a hand on it.
Time.
As Mitchell gets the toss, he's going to get a 100-yard game on this run. Oh my goodness, he breaks it again. It's been ground dominance. 3rd and goal. Trying to get one here, and guess what? Happy birthday, Odell Beckham.
Ravens continue their dominance at home with a 37-3 drubbing of the Seattle Seahawks. This game wasn't even close, like, since the first quarter. Like, again, it was 0-0, but still. The Ravens are really good. They went to go to 7-2 in their fourth straight game, and yeah, this game was really bad. Seahawks fell to 5-3. I mean, they haven't been a good team all year, guys. That's kind of the simplest fact of it. Again, yeah, they did beat the Browns, also with the backup quarterback. Yeah, I said they lost by 17. They lost by 3 scores at home to the Rams in Week 1. Like, that kind of tells you what type of team they are. Obviously, they are still 5-3. So I mean, that's it. Geno was terrible in 27 interception. Outside that one deep ball, he had to JSN, who actually had a really good game. And the 50-yard explosive play to DK Metcalf. This offense did absolutely nothing, guys. That's just the truth about it. I mean, Tyler Lockett struggled mightily. I mean, bro, he's got to be better than this. Like, come on, bro. Like, actually, and DK Metcalf, again, outside the 50-yard play, like, nothing. Defensively, they couldn't stop the run. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, the coverage actually wasn't even that bad because Reek Woolen, Devon Witherspoon, like, honestly, the whole secondary did a collective good job in terms of coverage. But when you flat out can't fit the run well enough and you can't penetrate, you're not going to do much at all. Jason Myers obviously hit the field goal, too. Ravens, Lamar, again, didn't have much trouble completing passes. Again, let's be honest, all of them were underneath, guys. Like, this was like a game where you throw it underneath, a couple of nice downfield passes. But outside of, again, Mark Andrews really being like a 9 for 80, had a really solid game. Of course, Odell had the touchdown. They ran the ball a ton for a lot of yards. That's kind of was like, they had 4 guys for over 40 yards. Yeah, just still not very efficient, but when Keaton Mitchell's a 40-yard touchdown, like a 60-plus yard run, and 15 yards per carry, as well as Lamar having 60 yards on the ground, as well as Justice Hill's 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you can bring in Tyler Huntley in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you played really well. Defensively, though, I mean, this is the best defense in the league right now. Statistically, I wouldn't say they're the best overall. I like the Browns more, but they had 4 total sacks. They had a pick. I love them in fantasy. Justin Tucker also had 4 field goals. Again, they had 515 yards of total offense. This has just been complete domination the past 2 home games. Also, 300 rushing yards. Yeah, that's not easy to do. They did give up a sack, but for this offensive line. But outside of that, I mean, they had the ball for 40 minutes, guys. Like, holy crap. This was just complete domination. There's really nowhere to put it. Like, the Seahawks could do absolutely nothing. The Ravens could do whatever the heck they want. Like, outside of a couple big plays by the Seahawks, guys, this was an absolute murder. Like, this was a bloodbath as big as it gets. Alright, the good news for the Seahawks offense is they won't get too much pressure next week because they are playing the, Commanders, but they got to bounce back. No turnovers. They turned it over, twice, 3 times, something like that. A couple of deep shots up on Brandon Stevens. He played well, and obviously Geno Stone had his 6th pick, and they did not do any of that crap. Offensively, 8 minuses. No, honestly, 7, because they did show something. But that was, I mean, I don't even know what else to expect. Because this offense, again, you say they're good, but, like, they didn't really have a chance to run the football either. So, I'll give them that. But, honestly, I think this offense could have been worse. That's how I'll put it. Like, honestly, they had big plays. I just don't know how to give them, like, they kind of didn't really get that. They didn't stop the run. That's all I'll put it. If you can't fit the run, you get penetrated on like that, and you just simply don't have the guys to tackle, that's what's going to happen to you guys. 8 minuses. The only good thing you guys kind of did was not give up too many big plays through the air. But, I mean, outside of that, guys, like, there's nothing good you did. Like, that was a terrible display of run defense. Now let's look at the Ravens. All right, you didn't finish drives. That's about it, though. Lamar got off the field and by the 4th quarter. Gus Edwards was really good. I don't know. 8 pluses? You know, I'll give them 7. No, 8, because they had 300 rushing yards. No, 7, because they didn't put up 40. Whatever, they had a really good game. Defensively, Justin Madubuike, really good. I think he had 2.5, maybe, yeah. He was nasty. He's been really good this year, too. Again, not the most consistent interior rusher, but he gets a lot of pressure. I know, gets a lot of sacks. Rogan starts staying disciplined off play action. Yep, Patrick Queen, again, he actually wasn't even that good in man, but Kyle Hamilton did kind of step up there. He was playing a lot of will on 2nd down, too. Defensively, 8 pluses. Almost as good as it gets to this Ravens defense. They were legit again. Now let's get the Colts and Panthers, guys. Kenny Moore did something that no one's done since 2021.
From Charlotte, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, on this, you can see bobbled, loose, and picked up on the play by Wooten. Chandler Wooten gets the ball. This will be a 26-yard field goal for the game's first score. Right through it goes, down 8. Minshew, Taylor, Nelson a block, tries a block, he'll corkscrew, in for the touchdown. In is 3 field goals against Houston. To get on the board, perfect from 30. No wind. Dead. Solid. Perfect. Underneath, it's picked off. And here comes the veteran Kenny Moore. Chased by Young. That is a big six. They rush 4. He's flush. Chased by Buckner. Caught. And touchdown. DJ Chark. Moulton the block at the right tackle. Long. He's got him. It's caught by Hurst. Reads in the secondary. Banged out of bounds. Memphis Sanders, they come through. It's intercepted again. And again, it's picked off by Moore. A foot race. It'll be his second pick six. On the board. Half the quarter to go. It is up, and it is perfect.
The rest of the way.
Second down, 6 to go, and intercepted. Picked off by Alubi.
Alright, so I'll talk about that later. But either way, Colts 4-5, they bounce back over the Panthers 27-13. Their defense gets a long-awaited outrage. Yeah, I'll be honest, the Panthers kind of had this coming. They did beat the Texans though. C.J. Stroud is not as good as Bryce Young. But either way, Gardner Minshew was basically just checked down Charlie this game. He didn't have one pass, I think, that traveled over like 10 yards. It was just clinic there. The running game wasn't good either. Honestly, this offense was kind of terrible in this game. I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. again got a lot of targets, but yeah, that was about it. Offensively, they were not good. They just, again, didn't really try to push the ball on the field at all because this defense was going berserk. Kenny Moore, 2 pick sixes. That's all I need to explain about him. Yeah, these are the list of guys who've had 2 pick sixes in the game. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jackrabbit Jenkins had it against the Cardinals for the Rams. I honestly had no idea he did that, so that's kind of cool. Ronnie Barber did it. Ronnie Barber is so underrated. Aaron Glenn's one of the best corners ever. No, I'm joking. He's still really good, though. Who else is? Oh, yeah. What is it called? Zach Brown, the singer. Yeah, definitely. No. But Mike Edwards, of course, he did it again off Matt Ryan. I think both of them were tip passes, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool there. Shaq Leonard, he got more and more snaps in this game, and he looked really good. Jalen Jones and Julian Blackmon are not good, but they played good in this one. Alubi, this dude, he had a pick. DeForest Buckner had a sack. They had a good amount of pressure. They just dominated. That's all. But this defense was having a field day. Bryce Young was terrible. 24-39, 173 touchdowns, 3 picks. Whenever there was pressure, he just threw it right down to the running back. That's kind of how it was. Like, Miles Sanders had a couple targets. He actually had some nice plays, but yeah, Chuba Hubbard had a lot of check down catches as well. Says it with Rasheed Blackshear. DJ Chark did catch a touchdown though, so at least they scored something there. Of course, he nurse that big play, but this running game was not pretty at all. Miles Sanders, yeah, had a couple carries, but he definitely looked better when he got less touches. Defensively, Frankie Louvu, 8 tackles, was good, but, I mean, no one else in this defense really inspired much out of me at all. I mean, they really didn't have to do much either. Like, they were just kind of stopping guys, making the tackles routinely. Nothing crazy was put on them either. I mean, D-line held their own. Honestly, defensively, they did a decent job. Again, there's just the 2 pick sixes killed them. Because, again, the Colts had under 200 yards of total offense. Panthers had, again, a little more, but nothing crazy. Again, just 3 picks thrown by Bryce Young, and also the offensive line was a lot worse. So, yeah, Colts offense wasn't that good at all, but, I mean, honest, I just don't think the Panthers defense, like, honestly, if they were a little better, again, they were still really good, but I think if they were a little better, they would have definitely actually given them a shot at winning this game. But Bryce never threw 2 picks in the game again to the same player, because now you know what happens. Your team loses by 2 scores. Colts offensive, I already said, they didn't turn over the football too much, but they just didn't really do anything. So, like, I'll give them, like, 3 minuses. They just were not good. Like, best way I put it. They, like, nothing inspired me at all. I mean, the offensive line definitely wasn't great. Quentin Nelson had a couple of nice blocks, but, like, not much there. Gardnerman didn't really try to push downfield at all. Yeah, it was just, like, not good. Defensively, though, yep, the safeties were pretty deep, and yeah, that's about it. And obviously, DeForest Buckner did get a couple tackles. Defensively, definitely a bounce-back game. I'll give them 5 pluses. They outscored the Panthers, guys. I mean, Kenny Moore did, so that's pretty good. I mean, defensively, definitely wasn't the best performance for them. Definitely a bounce-back, guys, because, again, they were the worst, what is it called? Scoring defense in the league coming into this game. Pretty solid performance, guys. Now let's go to the Panthers. All right, and for the Panthers, Bryce Young making strong throws out to the hash is not really. Miles Sanders did not have 70 yards. Adam Thielen did not have 35-yard touchdowns. This offense lost a lot of explosion that we saw a couple times last week. Obviously, Bryce Young hit through those bad, 2 crucial mistakes. They moved the football better than the Colts did, so maybe that's a little better. But I gotta give him 5 honestly, guys. You just can't get outscored by the other by one player, guys. Like actually, defensively though. Brian Burns did get a good amount of pressure. Honestly, again, they did kind of give him the game, but I think there were some guys I think they could have done a little more. Again, it's kind of like put some like infusion back in that offense after some of the momentum shifts that they were getting because of those crucial mistakes that Bryce Young was making. But overall, defensively, again, they kept them under 200 yards. Honestly, you give them 3 pluses. Solid performance to that defense. Now let's get into, like, I mean, how much worse can it get for the Giants, guys? Just already take for Caleb, like, honestly, at this point, guys. Here were the highlights, though. Like, oof, oh, God. Oh.
And we welcome you to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Las Vegas Raiders are home to take on the New York Giants. Plenty of...
Over the middle, open and on the run, Jacoby Myers. Myers inside the 25 and down with a first down. Raiders on the move. Myers gets it on the jet sweep. Myers down the sideline. What a cut! Touchdown! Jacoby Myers. Possession. Line up here, 4th and short, and their version of the tush push. Did they get there? Looking, chased by Crosby, traps around his own man. He was trying to get around Lawrence Cager, and Crosby will get his 7th sack of the... Jacobs gets the carry, looking for room. Jacobs pushing the pile in for the touchdown. Here's Barkley, room on the edge, and Barkley, a little bit of speed shoved out by Trayvon Merrick. By the Raider defense. DeVito will step up in the pocket, and he's looking deep over the middle, and that ball is going to be intercepted. Amik Robertson leaping in front. The best starting field position for the Raiders at the 40-yard line, and O'Connell wants to take a deep shot. And he's got Trey Tucker out there. Tucker diving, and he makes the catch. Jacobs plowing forward to the goal line. Look at him reach the football over for the touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. DeVito over the middle, deflected, and it's intercepted. Carried into the hands of Nate Hobbs.
Water and some oxygen on the sidelines. We're going to need you.
24-yard try by Daniel Carlson is good. Made from 24 earlier. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. Good protection. Breaks down on the run. Open in the back of the end zone, and a little hesitation for Wan'Dale Robinson. On 4th down, DeVito, nobody open. Buying time, now he finds the open man, and the ball jarred out of the hands of Isaiah. And the kick by Carlson is a line drive.
Alright, and the Raiders blow the doors of the Giants with 30-6 win. They win by 3 scores, nearly 4. This game was bad from the start. Like, right off the get-go, this game was really bad. Raiders, don't ask me how they're 4-5. Should they be 4-5? Honestly, yeah, because they have shown glimpses of being a decent team, because they're not in the basement, but yeah, maybe it's just a one-game wonder, but they played really well. Giants, on the other hand, I mean, they're in the toilet, guys. Of course, Daniel Jones basically tore his ACL, went out for another play, fell on it, and just basically tore it probably even more. He's done for the year. The Giants' season's been over anyway, but yeah. Obviously, though, Tommy DeVito, not great. He did throw the ball downfield on that one drive, though, so there's some hope there. They let him sling it a little bit. Obviously, that interception was brutal out of Jalen Hyatt. He was effectively open. Running game, Saquon had a couple big runs. Honestly, I think this offense will actually be okay with him at least. Again, the running game will be somewhat productive the rest of the season, but the O-line sucks. Evan Neal's a massive bust, at least so far in his career. And no one's getting consistently up. Like, I love Jalen Hyatt, bro, but he can't run anything outside of a go. Daniel Bellinger, Darius Slayton, I mean, they were okay, but Darius Slayton, bro, he can't really catch the football or get open. Wan'Dale Robinson had a touchdown, yeah, but, like, he's never healthy. And, I mean, Saquon, he just can't be your number one receiver. Meanwhile, defensively, they didn't really cover. Like, it seemed like they flat out didn't, like, they refused to cover. Like, they did not want to cover for, like, whatever reason. David McKinney was good over the top. Like, outside that, they were just not there. Laterally, they were really bad at following their guys. Obviously, man coverage, they were pretty putrid, too. Jason Pinnock missed a lot of tackles. They were not good against Josh Jacobs. This defense just lacked a lot of juice that they needed to have in this game. Raiders-wise, though, Aiden O'Connell was a very good game manager in this game. Josh Jacobs, yeah, only 3.8 yards per carry, but it's by far his best game year. 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, Jacoby Myers also with a jet sweep touchdown. Trey Tucker caught a bomb, but outside of that, I mean, no one really did too much in the receiving game. Devontae Adams was somewhat back, but not really, 4 for 34. On Hunter Renfrow had a couple big catches. I would imagine he will get more targets next week because he was nasty in the slot. Defensively, Max Crosby had 3 sacks. That kind of cements how this defense played. Outside of the one drive they had at the end of the game, this defense was dominating basically the whole way. 2 picks from Amik Robinson and Hobbs, obviously, combined with those 2 picks. Tyler Wilson had half a sack. Kind of got back into it, but Malcolm Cruz also had a sack. All the edge rushers were just dominating. Everyone was dominating on this defense. They all had good games. And Jalen Smith, I also got to remember he's on this team. And neither team had, again, a great game, total yardage-wise, but yeah, the Raiders had more. They were a little better on 3rd down, too. Again, they didn't take 8 sacks, though. I mean, this Giants offensive line, guys, they're so freaking bad, and the scheme they've got running is just not there, guys. Time for the keys to getting great, though. Alright, I'm really frustrated with this Giants offense, because, yeah, Daniel Jones took way too many sacks. I've tore his ACL. Jalen Hyatt did get a couple of grieves, but nothing crazy. Here's the thing. They can, block the running game. They're at least somewhat competent when it comes to sustaining blocks in the running game. But I don't know why they can't hold blocks in pass blocking. Honestly, it's probably the scheme they're running. I don't know why they don't run as many shifts as they do. And their guys just simply can't win one-on-one, yes, but also the fact they got to get the ball quicker, guys. If they can't, it's brutal to watch this offensive line pass protect. It's really bad. But 5 minuses. I mean, what it's called, Tommy DeVito showed some stuff. Maybe they're going to run some stuff up play action next week, but they got a lot of work to do. Again, they're going to Dallas next week. They're about going to get slaughtered, but who knows? Maybe they show something. Defensively, though, they just didn't really show me any energy. Adoree Jackson was not good. Deontay Banks showed me absolutely nothing. They just didn't really do too much to show me, again, anything. The only good thing I'll say is they did a decent job of containing Josh Jacobs overall. So, that's at least something, but they're going to have to play a lot more energy next week if they want to keep themselves in the game. 5 minuses. Now let's look at the Raiders. Alright, Cole Miller at least blocked this week, but that's all I'll say. Kayvon was not really a factor, yes. Devontae didn't go for over 100 yards. Josh Jacobs did not go for over 50 yards, but, again, game-managing type of game. They didn't turn over the football. They did a decent job. 30 points. I'll give them 4 pluses. Honestly, 5 pluses. That's the best game they've had all year. Defensively, though, Tyree Wilson and, I think they did combine for 5 pluses, or something like that. Roberts playing Luke Masterson were both pretty decent, and they did give up, they got more than that. But most of it was garbage time. This defense had a pretty solid day. Raiders' best game of the season. Now let's get into America's game of the week. Here were the highlights. Oh, the Cowboys. It never gets old, guys. It's so... How about them Cowboys?
It is one of the greatest rivalries in the NFL.
And now they go on a late snap count, and it worked to perfection. I thought they were just going to fake him, but it did the job. It hurts. Shocker. He picked
tight end position.
Give it to Gainwell, right side, who gets through. Gainwell to the end zone, leaping in the air, and he's in for the touchdown. On the fake, Prescott lofting, Lamb open. He's got it. Still on his feet, now taken down inside the 5, and it. Quick throw. Ferguson is in. Touchdown, Dallas. Prescott can't find anyone. Scrambling, throwing, flag flies. Ferguson comes back to get it. Jake Ferguson with a good move into Philly territory. And all looks, pumps, throws. It is caught for the touchdown by Turpin. He comes back in and he scores. And the Cowboys grab the...
If they got the right people out there.
Brotherly shove time. They shoves him in by 2 yards. Touchdown, Philadelphia. This kick is up, and it is good. Boy. To throw it again. 4-man pressure. Hurts going deep for the end zone. Devontae Smith has got it.
Brown, he's kind of tucked in behind the right side of the offensive line.
Hurts keeps it. A.J. Brown makes a move, and he's in for the touchdown. Pressure, end zone, it is caught for the touchdown. Schoonmaker. 2, 2nd and 10. Can't find anyone. Still looking around. Penalty flag flies, and it is caught by Tolbert inside the 5. But Prescott looking, throwing, end zone. He's got it for the touchdown. It's Jalen Tolbert. Prescott near side coverage, incomplete. Bradbury was there all over Jalen Tolbert, and the Eagles will take over. All or nothing. Prescott dancing around, just going to throw in the end zone. His catch is made by Lamb, but he's short.
And the Eagles bet the get the better of the Cowboys with a 28-23 nail-biter of a win. Of course, the Eagles move to 8-1, can maintain the best record in the entire NFL. Cowboys fall to 5-3, but they're still a good team, guys. Like, yeah, they lost, but like they're still getting a good team. They're playing the Giants next week on America's Game of the Week 2. I don't know why that's, again, that guy should get probably get flexed out. It was both that Sunday night. But Eagles coach on the bye before they get that huge Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs on Monday Night Football in Week 11. Dak, kind of got inflated by the last drive, but he did kind of torch the Eagles. 374, 3 touchdowns overall. Performed well. The running game, not really it. Tony Pollard, to be completely honest, this year has been kind of disappointing. After that one big play against the Chargers. CeeDee Lamb continues to be monster day. It's actually 11 for 191 again. Most of that on the last drive and that last play, but still a big game. Jake Ferguson saved my butt in fantasy, 7 for 91 in the touchdown. Jalen Tolbert was also good, 3 for 49 in the touchdown, but outside of that, no one really did much. It was kind of like a star-studded type of performance from these three dudes, but yeah. Dak, he came up, obviously just couldn't figure it out in the end. Defensively, though, they didn't really stop the run that well, to be completely honest, but they did do a decent job again against the QB sneak and stuff like that. And they didn't give Jalen Hurts many of the deep balls that he wanted, so, I mean, that's good from that secondary. But, I mean, the pressure was good, but it flat out could have been better. And I think, again, had a lot more potential than, like, again, what we saw from it. So, that's what I got there. Being over this Eagles team, Jalen Hurts was efficient, but then got pressured a decent bit. Not as much as, again, they could have pressured him, but obviously, decent bit. Again, the running game wasn't exactly efficient, but they did get some timely first downs. They did not have 125 yards for a 7th straight game, but they did have 7 for 66 in the touchdown. Otherwise, though, Devontae Smith caught a couple of bombs after that 29-yard go-ahead touchdown, of course, as well. Defensively, Zach Cunningham is not that good of a coverage linebacker, but he did make a lot of big tackles from them as well. As the fact that James Bradbury and Kevin Byard were both pretty good, and obviously they got a lot of sacks as well, because, I mean, that's what they do against the Cowboys. They just bring down Dak. Team stats, though, obviously, Cowboys had 400 total yards. Not great for that defense, but whatever. They did have the ball a little longer, and actually, they didn't really kill clock it to them. Honestly, lucky they win, but, I mean, the Eagles, let's be completely honest here, guys. They did not deserve to win this game, but they did. So, that's what I got there. Time to keys the game grades. Alright, for this Cowboys offense, Tony P just, again, wasn't really used enough. I just didn't really see enough. I'm like, oh, God, this is where it gets, like, this Cowboys offense is really going. It just wasn't there. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb in this offense really stepped it up in the fourth quarter. He was really good on the outside there. Dak did honestly come up big time. Obviously, the 4th down play wasn't good, but honestly, that's not kind of the play calling, honestly. Dak made all the throws he was supposed to in this game, guys. Like, Dak should have a really good day. So, offensively, again, it was really a failure overall, but I'll give him 4 pluses, guys, because they did actually move the ball really well on that defense. It's just a play calling. That's all I got to say there. I mean, yeah, only 23 points, but this offense did have a pretty good game, all things said. Meanwhile, defensively, they did not do a good job overall, again, on the brotherly shove, in my opinion. But I do think they did get short yards. They were decent. Micah was better, but still not crazy great. And they did do a good job. I mean, I wouldn't say hitting them, but yeah, Dallas Goedert wasn't as big as a factor as he was in other weeks against bigger teams. So for that reason, I mean, they still lost. Again, they didn't have that great of a game, but they did kind of sustain some stuff. I'll give them 2 minuses again. They didn't make some of the plays they needed to. Again, if they just didn't give some of those big plays, I really think they would again won this game. Now let's look at the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Philly, Jalen Hurts 100 plus rushing yards, 2 plus touchdown targets for DeAndre Swift. Yeah, whatever. They didn't really do too much of that. Simply, they put their nose down and they hit some of those big throws to the outside with those receivers. So, I mean, it wasn't exactly the most extravagant display, but they did win this game the way you probably expected them to. So, for that reason, I will give them 2 pluses, but this offense did not perform that great. Defensively, they were good. Obviously, I mean, not great. I wouldn't say they're good. They just kind of figured out at the end of the game. They forced a lot of sacks, obviously, and they made Dak throw the ball out. So, I guess that is good, but came down to it, their secondary just didn't really do too well. So, I'll still give them 3 pluses because they did win themselves the game. But yeah, Eagles-wise, definitely have the best performance. The Cowboys actually played a decent game. Honestly, it was just a really well-played game, guys. And the Eagles obviously just figured a way to win it in the end. Now it's the Sunday Night Football. Here were the Bills and Bengals. Here are the highlights, too.
A perfect Sunday night for football on the riverfront of the Ohio. Sellout crowd on hand at Paycor Stadium. Empty backfield, first and goal. Burrow, end zone, Smith, got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. What an opener. Here's 66 for the season. Good edge block by Khalil Shakir. And there goes Diggs through the secondary. Stephon Diggs running with purpose. First and goal, Buffalo. Allen fakes it. And runs it in for the touchdown. 5 the pattern for Burrow. Able to escape the trouble.
massive win over the Bills for their 4th straight win. Obviously going to 5-3 with a 24-18 grinder against the Bills. Obviously, Bills, they've already lost more games than they lost last year. That kind of tells you the story of the season. It's been really a trying year for sure. But I'll say one thing. It's not over, but it's not great. All right, Josh Allen. The turnovers are killing him. Let me put it like that. Again, the fumble by Duncan Caden was unfortunate, but they could have figured it out later. Obviously, just didn't convert on many of those drives in the 3rd and 4th quarter where they did get some chances. Pick obviously by Josh Allen wasn't great. He knew it right away when he threw it. 258 yards though. 26 for 38. Running game was non-existent. Again, I'm happy because James Cook, again, bailed me out in fantasy, not having him play well. But yeah, Josh Allen 44 yards and a touchdown on the ground as well. Stephon Diggs, a couple big plays, but really overall was they did a really good job at bracketing him, as well as the fact that Dalvin K 10 for 81 was getting a lot of targets. It was really the only one they were giving yardage to. Defensively though, pretty decent game overall. To be honest, I don't think they played that bad. The run defense could have been better. Obviously, the Bengals have really done a good job setting the edge. Again, they did definitely struggle with that. The corners played pretty well, though. I think the linebackers definitely could have done a better job containing against Joe Mixon. But another big thing that I think people are overlooking is the fact that, again, they didn't really get enough penetration. Like, again, Lavelle Joseph was pretty good, again, on those in run defense. But Russell Douglas, I think, could have made a couple other big plays. Again, they just didn't really make, again, too many of those. And obviously, they struggled to force an incompletion from Joe Burrow, went 31 of 44 for 348 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, yes, again, the fact that the secondary did give a little torch, but also the fact that, again, I don't think that you can, expect too much out of them for, again, it was kind of up to that defensive line to make a lot of big plays, and they just simply didn't. So that's kind of what I got there. Yeah, Joe Mixon only 226 yards per carry. That's why he had, 5 catches for 31 yards. So not the greatest numbers, but you could definitely see he was setting the tone, as well as the fact that Teagan's 8 for 111 yards is a big game. Jamar Chase only 4 for 41, but he was somewhat productive. Drew Sample and Irv Smith Jr. both had touchdowns. Obviously, Drew Sample with that long one, and I think 22-yarder, and as well as Tyler Boyd making a couple big catches. Defensively, Mike Hilton, he was definitely a slot in this game for sure. They used him a lot there, and he made a lot of plays there. And as well, again, the linebackers had a pretty decent game. Defensively, they were very disciplined in this one. They didn't give up too many big lanes. Outside the fact they did give up, some tackles they weren't great there, but it was okay. To Kim, they also had a pick, and they also came up big again in the at the end of the second half. As well, looking at the Bengals had nearly 400-yard total offense, guys. Yeah, crazy game. 36-23 minutes possession. Obviously, the 2-0 turnover ratio, a big difference as well. Bills didn't have enough time to actually get in their whole rhythm. Big difference in this one, guys. Bengals, obviously, big win there. And they got a huge game against Texans next week. Bills, on the other hand, I think, what the heck are they playing? Oh, they're playing the Broncos on Monday night. We'll see what happens there. And for the Bills offense, Josh Allen, 3 total touchdowns. He had 2. Stephon Diggs, 10+ receptions. He had 8. Yeah, right? Something like that. The line continued to get downhill. No, they didn't run the ball at all. I think that was another big part of their game that they could have done more with. But then again, they didn't really get under center too much. They didn't score 35 points. Not even close. Again, not putting enough emphasis into that run game, as well as the fact that they were a little inconsistent at some other points. Was a big difference in this one. So for that reason, I'll give this offense, 3 minuses. But they didn't quit. So I guess that's good. Defensively, though, bring Joe Burrow down on first down on the first hit. They didn't get enough first hits. It was just the fact that this defense line didn't step up, as well as the fact that you can't expect much from these corners. Again, Rasul Douglas kind of disappointing in his debut, but they didn't have another guy who could really cover. Safeties were playing deep enough to the point where they couldn't get over the top on them, but obviously Jamar Chase was getting condensed a lot on, and obviously Rasul Douglas just didn't show up enough against him. So for that reason, this defense obviously had a little bit of a letdown, give them 4 minuses, but they did have some good points. Obviously, they only held them 24 points for the amount of yards they gave up. It was pretty decent there. Now let's go to the Bengals end this thing. All right, wrapping up with this Bengals offense. I said Joe Burrow extending plays 4+ seconds on 3rd down. He actually did a good amount of that. The running game, again, Joe Mixon had a couple nice runs, but again, it just wasn't super efficient. They did get a good amount of first downs in the first drive too. So offensively, again, really just I wouldn't say perfect game, but they had a really consistent day. I like what I saw. I will give them 4 pluses. Again, wasn't fantastic overall, but again, got it done. Bengals defensively, though, under 4+ big plays he allowed. They were good there. Trey Anderson, 9+ pressures. I think he had 5. And Dax Hill playing extremely flat on shotgun looks. Was a little flat at some points. I do think that he could have been a little better, especially, again, with the yak plays. But overall, I'm going to be honest, this Bengals defense was good. They could have been better, though. So I'll give them 3 pluses. And that's all I got for the Bengals defense, guys. And that's all I got for the NFL Week 9 Sunday recap. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed Monday Night Football. And, yeah, see you for the Monday Night Football recap tomorrow.
And a knee. The Army Black Knights snap a 5-game slide. Jeff Monken's team